It is sure say the thing go reach your football knee. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's footy fantasy, yeah, watching footy fantasy, footy fantasy. It is sure say the thing go meet your football knee, your football knee. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive, sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see, your eyes go see. It's footy fantasy, footy fantasy.
Is a lie. That music is a lie. That music is a lie.
It's a song.
That's awesome. Have you also like,
I hear it.
my only offense is I don't see myself in those courts.
Okay, see that one. Let's take it up with EJ. Now
It's EJ. EJ is just keeping low key.
Yeah, see,
good,
and if you notice,
I notice it. There's always what's it called? Fake love.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, welcome to another edition of the 40 Fantasy Podcast. Where shall we begin? Let's first start by
where shall we begin?
let's start with top right, Mr. Dio.
Hey guys.
Welcome, bro. How's it going?
Good. Nice to be here.
Good. Yeah. Nice to see you, bro. I was hoping you would come after the after Aston Villa built a villa in your house. Well, actually, you went to their house, right?
Yeah. We went to their house. They stunned us. Aston Villa stunned us.
Aston Villa stunned you. Yeah. Anyway, welcome, bro. Idris.
Yes, bro.
Maresca's right-hand man. Alpha.
Drew. We are not yet there yet. We are just
my Idris.
Well,
how's it going, bro? You all right?
Good. It's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Hey, listen, people. We want to be here for a time, not a long time.
How are you doing? Actually, is the question we should be asking.
Let's keep about that. My job. Listen, my job here is not to talk. My job is to engage in conversation. Okay, I'm not saying anything. I plead the fifth. I plead the sixth. I plead the seventh. I plead all the amendments. I'm not saying anything.
I'm pleading everything. I'm pleading everybody.
But before we get into it, guys, give us a like and a follow on all the social media platforms that we're on. On YouTube, we're at Footy Fantasy. And on Twitter, we're at Footy AD Fantasy. And on YouTube, it is at Fantasy Footy. If you like these videos, share them, subscribe to the channel, like the videos as well. It'll help us really. It'll help us so much as well. We also have like Cliff Notes versions of these podcasts that get released 48 hours after the podcast. So if you don't have time to watch the entire hour, you can just watch the summary. That being said, let us get into it. Listen, the first topic I put here was Villa Manchester United review, but I don't want to talk about Villa Manchester United. Idris, talk to me about Chelsea Nottingham Forest.
So I would like to let you know that Villa Manchester was an amazing game, and they.
No. Let's start with Villa Man United. I mean, your game was going on at the same time.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if you had the opportunity to.
Yes, I did watch the game today, and it was kind of like I was a little disappointed, but I mean, it's what it's kind of expected. You're talking. I actually completely forgot that Lord Nuno, as the Minister of Defense, Nuno was in charge of Nottingham Forest. I actually forgot that because for some reason I don't know. I'm attaching him to Wolves every time I see the results. I'm like, how did Nuno get this bad? And I just remember my guy is in Nottingham, and when you look at the amount of goals they've conceded and how compact that team is, it makes a lot of sense. It also attests to the way they play as a unit, whether it's low block, high block, and everything. Mm-hmm. Nottingham Forest had a red card, and they were still capable of stinging Chelsea. You know what I mean?
When did they get what part of the game did they get the red card?
That was the second half. So yeah. So it's kind of like, interestingly, they still look like they could sting, and that's when you know, a good team is a good team. Or a well-coached team. Let me be careful with that, because a good team could also be termed that, like, oh, they're winning. You're using stats means, oh, they're a good team. A well-coached team is a team that can be compact. They can use the resources they have. They don't have bad players, but then again, many Premiership clubs don't really have bad players. It just depends on how coached and how balanced the team is, and how probably extremely talented you might have certain sprinkles of players like the top 6, top 7 teams.
Yeah.
But I would say as expected, the results sour for a tie, but it's not unexpected. And if you look at the way the chances Chelsea had towards the end of the first half, the saves, the goalie, man, that guy was the man of the match. Then also on the flip side, the saves Rico Suave had to make constantly, is just kind of like what somebody. That's what we call him now, Rico. Very stupid boy. If you see all these dives, sometimes he just dives for the camera, does extra shit. Like, he has it in him to be a very, very top goalie, but he's just one or two mistakes from messing up the entire game. So it's never like consistent with Sanchez. So, but like, all in all, he kept us in the game. He earned his number 1 jersey. Like, I swear to God, like, we could have, as much as we dominated the game, we could have lost the game.
Wow.
And we could have lost like 3-1.
And is that one of your, and Dio, you can come in here too. Is that one of Chelsea's pain points? Because Maresca looks like he's actually playing decent football. I mean, look, if you have ballers in your front line, you will play ball. But you still see those frailties in Chelsea's defense. That defense is still kind of wobbly. Is that one of your, even though you're doing well, is that one of your fears?
Well, I didn't watch today's game, but from what I've seen about Chelsea recently, I think it's still, they are not able to control a game to the point that it's a little too much back and forth. You know, when you watch Arsenal or Man City or last season's Liverpool, it gets to a time where the opposition gives up. Like, okay, let's just get it out of the way. And that's where when you look at dominant teams, that is where they're like, okay, the opposition is already on damage control mode. Okay, we don't want any more damage. We will take our 2-0 and just go on with it. But with Chelsea, it always looks like, okay, they can be gotten at. We can get something out of them. They are very flaky at the back. They can give up chances anytime. The good thing, what is working for them, what Maresca has been able to do for them right now, like, okay, I don't know if it's Maresca or Cole Palmer. It's like their attack is on point. They're able to create a lot of chances. When Nicholas Jackson can miss 4 chances and they will still have another 4. Like, Chelsea probably has the highest goal scored in the league right now, but they're barely top 4, and that's because 6-2, 4-3. 5-2. Those are not the kind of games you should be playing, because right now you'll be playing serious-minded teams. They won't give up as much chances. Your defense will, your attack will not get as much joy. For example, if you're playing Liverpool, you'll not get as much. If you're playing Arsenal, you'll not get as much joy in the attack. So your defense has to be more solid. You can't be discussing about or be badiashilaying around, or and so that they've made progress compared to last season. Last season, sometimes they didn't even know what they were doing. Attack was bad, defense was bad, everything was bad. But attack seems to be getting it now. Maybe it's the Cole Palmer factor that is just imposing himself more on the team. Now that it's no longer a rookie, that's a big boy in attack now. Or maybe something Maresca is doing. But the defense too, they still give up too much chances for them to be a dominant team or to win the league, let me say.
I agree with Dio. He's actually hit the nail on the head. Like, with Chelsea, if you take enough risk, if you're like, screw it, man, like, I'm going to die anyway, you will potentially get something. You know what I mean, right? I mean, you get slaughtered in the process, but you would potentially get something if you like, let me just go for it. Right. And then it's because it's kind of the last thing Dio said at the end. Is it because Palmer is growing and he can impose himself? Part of it is yes, right? It's also Nani being growing to be able to impose himself because this is technically his third season,
Mhm.
right? It's
Mhm.
also Jackson, even if he's not able to, if before he used to miss 5 out of 5 chances or score 1 out of 8 chances, now he will score one out of 4. He's
Mhm.
also growing, right? Quality of chances being created astronomically better than last year. The XGs did not tell you the true story of what clean cut chances. They're like, oh, it's clear chances that you should have scored. Yeah, yeah, but like, are they clean cut through passes? Were they, clear square ball that this guy is supposed to hit? Like we had a lot of that. Don't get me wrong, last season, but
Mhm.
we missed a lot of that. But that wasn't like it's not compared to what we are having this year. This year we're having like half goals situations,
Mhm.
and they're coming. Passes are coming from almost every angle. You were seeing passes coming from Casiedo of all people, right? Not just Enzo. We're seeing quality passes coming from Felix. We're seeing quality passes coming from Jadon Sancho. We're seeing quality passes. Nani is still an idiot, but we're still Nani is my kid, but he does some things. I'm
He
just
has
like,
his bozo moment.
Mhm.
yeah, you're just like, what are you doing? But he's got a lot of talent. But it's the same thing that I said. He's growing now. Dad and I were talking was it yesterday or so, and we were talking about is it like who are the top guys last year? As Dio said, last year sometimes you didn't know what we're doing. The top players last year are no longer in Chelsea, and I can start Conor Gallagher, um,
Sterling.
Thiago Silva at the back,
Yeah.
Trevor Chalobah. So the times we were stringing wins to be able to get to top 4, top 6, top 7, the guy, even as useless as Sterling to us was, and I don't think he was useless. I just think he was such a senior player on a high-paying salary that we expected a lot from, and we were very disappointed from what we got. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but like he was giving us our assistant goals last year, right? When you now take all those top performers, well, you have these new people in. That's like half the first team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming in, right? And now these kids are trying to find balance and find themselves in the process. Jadon Sancho could do more than what we have seen him do in Chelsea, but his bare minimum and basic is so high compared to what we were used to before.
Mm.
You know what I mean? If N'Golo Kante was injured and left, we went from a team that was like 8/10 to 4/10. That drop off was too much. Now Sancho goes, Neto comes in, Nani goes out. We flip Palmer around, we bring in Felix. Even Modric is not overtly pressured to perform. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
The best finisher is on the bench in Nkunku, but we for some reason we're starting with Jackson because his build-up play is actually much better. I'm looking for the day they will pair him up with Nkunku. I don't know how that will look like, but we somehow found a way to just play all offensive players in the right quadrants and triangles that works. So you have to give the coach credit. You have to give how the coach sets up the team credit. Then we now have to go to the second team that shows up in the Conference League, in the Carabao Cup, and potentially in the FA Cup. They also step up.
Mhm.
So, and again, we talked about the bodies in the team, like Badia Shield, by Disaster, Disasida. It's just like your knuckle sandwich that you used to have with what was that sandwich Manchester United used to force feed them every week. The Ed and McTominay
McFred.
McFred. Oh my God! So now we have by the sister situation. Like those guys are inconsistent, but we don't know what's going to happen in the future too. But now
Mm.
we have 3 consistent defenders in Colwell, Tosin, and what's his name? Fofana. But Fofana can
Fofana.
get injured at any time. That's another thing. But they're young. They're extremely young. They're not. Tosin is the oldest, but Tosin doesn't play even regularly, right? But they're extremely young. So with that, you have a fiery warhead in front and a shitty defense. So that's kind of like a summary of Chelsea. But you got to give credit to growth. You got to give credit to proper recruiting with statistics, and you also got to give credit to the young boys who've got like another extra year of experience and they are growing into themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. And one of the problems is like in defense, you need maturity in defense. You need experience in defense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Chelsea, Levi, the most talented or the better defenders are very young.
Mm.
In football in defensive terms, they are very young.
They're very young.
Fofana and Colwill, they are probably the most stable. but they are still young and they'll
They're
still
very
be
young.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are not ready to, and the bros that should be there, Silva
Yeah,
has
that's right.
left, and the ones that should be the intermediate, Badiashile and Disasi, are
They're
even
terrible.
they are actually worse than the kids. Like it's
Yeah.
even better
Yeah.
to have the kids and
Yeah.
So yeah,
Badiashile. So it's gonna be like, and this guy too. I feel for him. Your captain, Rhys James, is never fit.
I
there you go.
I was gonna ask about that. Like, Idris, are you concerned that Rhys James is moving into the Phil Jones, Luke Shaw territory?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like,
Everybody is. Everybody is.
or
Every
even Abu Dhabi territory.
yeah.
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 What do you so what because I was having a conversation with one of my Chelsea fans that I went to school with. And I was asking him, do you think Rhys James is better as an actual central defender, like a center back? Why? Because I think that playing either wing back or full back, up and down, up and down, up and down, I don't think he has the muscles for that. Like
What I think is this: Rhys James needs to lose weight.
He's
to-
lost.
that's what I'm trying to make. Going up and down with that weight, going
He's
up
lost quite some weight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, sadly, he has lost weight. Rhys James' situation reminds me of who we sent over to Dyer's team in Bayern Munich,
Mhm.
Arjen Robben. They're going to have to figure out what is, look at me playing with physics here now, what is elastic limit is breaking point. I'm serious. As in, at what point does this engine go? Kifan Beltoja, like at what point did he get to the engine?
Yeah.
At what point does he go? Is it true that where's the breaking point of these guys wear and tear? Like, how can we find it? And that was this is the funniest thing. In the behind closed doors friendly game that he was playing to get him ready to get back, they were planning to sub him at 65th minute. That was the agreement. He's doing well. He's done a few. Okay, we've done 30, 20, 40. Okay, let's get into 65 minutes. But we'll go get in just 63rd minute. That was what Maresca said. So that's why he's still out.
This one are village people.
Now, village. So it's a sad situation of, I hope they get it right. I'm happy that Maresca manages players, but we don't have as much injuries as we had last year. In fact, we are actually doing much better in terms of injury compared to everybody in the Premier League. And that tells a lot on like his training methodologies and how to manage players. He manages players well. He doesn't care if you bank the hat trick and you haven't played straight. You just be like, here's your 60 minutes or your 70 minutes, be coming out. The next guy goes in, throws it. So that's a good thing to watch.
Just one last thing before I move on to the next topic. Do you guys think, at least now in retrospect, because you made a point, Idris, that even the second team that plays your Conference League games and maybe FA Cup games, when they come in, there's no drop off. Like the performances are similar, or even almost identical. Is that why this guy Maresca was bent on shipping off and exiling some players? Because if he's like, look, I need to train this many people to play the exact same way, regardless of
situation. Yeah,
I cannot have all you people distracting them. So
Facts.
Raheem Sterling, F off. Gallagher, F off.
I think to be honest with you, I think initially it looked that way, but I think Maresca is the ultimate company man.
Okay.
Yeah, initially it looked that way. The way you said it makes sense. I got a way I want to play, and to be honest with you, this is the funniest thing. Maresca is not actually playing the way we've been told he plays, because he's supposed to be the Temu Pep, right? Like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it. No, but you get right, which is possession, overbearing. But what we've seen is his ability to quickly recognize this player isn't working in this scenario. Let me quickly try him here or here. It's not working. Let me just drop him on the bench and figure out somebody that comes in. He's that quick, and it's kind of like a breath of fresh air for Chelsea fans, because
he's not scared to like just substitute a player if he's not performing.
He doesn't care, and he will say he'll be like, this player is still going to play. Actually, he said something 2 interviews ago. He said he had a conversation with the entire front line. When we're talking about the entire, we're talking Jadon Sancho to Noni to Jackson to Gui to the entire front line. Say all of you are not going to play all the games.
Yep.
So if you already know that, it takes off a little bit of pressure. So
Yeah.
you just know at some point to when your time comes,
You,
string into three different correct performances, then
yeah.
you know how he has to find a way to play you. And he says it, and we see it. We
Yeah.
actually see it, right? No player is undroppable, not even Cole Palmer. Yes, he's
Hmm.
our best player, but Cole has had a stinker one time, but ball was out in 60 minutes, and that person was in. So that's the kind of coach we have. So I think that was a breath of fresh air. But again, to answer that your question about like benching players and removing players, and I use the word is an ultimate company man.
Hmm.
They when he came in, they had listed the players they needed out. I think the first batch of players that like because Chelsea has something working for us that we're a toxic club. I don't care what anybody says. We are lord of toxicity as long as performance and results are shown. Dio cannot roll with those kind of people. That's why it's in a gentleman's club like Bayern Munich. We understand. No, it's the truth. You need to know. You need to know who you are dating. Do you like BBL and baddies?
Agbe Rose.
You have a toxic relationship. You have a broken home, baby mamas. You pick your stuff. That's Chelsea. If you want a stable home, you go to the church or the mosque and do the right thing. Chelsea doesn't do that.
Go and date an evangelist.
Yeah.
Chelsea does not do that because you have to look at what happened. The first bunch of buys we bought, I think, were under Todd Bowley, directly involved. Ed Begali looking at the side. I think they realized they made a lot of mistakes. They apologized. They flipped as many players. And everyone was like, yo, Chelsea's financially re-engineering, but we're posting the right amount of profit so that we don't get banned. We're finding new things. Then this guy comes in again. They made some buys, didn't really work. They threw them in. And I think when they were now buying all these other players that all of us were getting very upset about, Vega, when they were buying Casada is coming back, we're buying all these Brazilian players, all of them were like, what the fuck? I want to see senior players. Then Sterling gets dropped the first game, right? And all that brouhaha was happening. Next thing, Sancho, Neto, Felix. Everybody was like, nah, that was the quality of experience we were expecting. So that drop-off doesn't work. But the fact of the matter is Maresca and the club had made a decision. And I think this is where Ed Begali must be given credit to. I think he took over the next phase of recruiting. I think. I'm just throwing a rumor out there. But the recruiting was completely different from when Todd was leading.
Okay.
Right? And the truth about the matter is there's been a ruthless approach, very toxic approach on personnel changes. And when you ask Maresca, you're dealing with 40 players. Guy said, I'm not dealing with 40 players, I'm dealing with 25 players.
Yeah.
So the remaining is the players, their father, their family members, and Chelsea. It doesn't concern him. So, and that was ruthless. I was like, bruh, if that was me, I don't know. But that literally set the tone. You get that also reduced the scope of the project that he can work with. That reduced the noise. For a coach that hasn't been in top flight football that long, you got to give him that management. Then he integrates players that couldn't go slowly back into the team. You have to. We are not hearing dressing room rockers. I am sure there are unhappy players in that place, but they seem to all be on the same page for now.
They're not misbehaving.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I agree with most of what you said. They dropped him into a bad situation because they brought him in. They have 40 players. He can't work with 40 players. Someone has to go. He has to be the bad guy. Someone has to be the bad guy, and he has to be the guy. I'm like, okay, you go now. And what I see is you were probably at the club second season level right now where they were scoring a lot in attack, but they were conceding a lot in defense. So probably the next stage for Chelsea is okay. We have a lot of players, young players, even Joao Felix, Sancho, relatively young players. Like who should be at their peak. They are all around now. So let's get rid of all these Sterlings. Then the next step, I think, is probably to look for a cheap but mature defender, a cheap but senior defender to be like their Van Dijk, like coordinate these guys, give them brain, like okay, this is how you stay. Oh, wait, move out, check this guy, so that it's not. Chelsea will probably make top four, but before they challenge for titles, will be like a while. And the thing when you're challenging for titles, you have to make your opponents give up. That is how you challenge for titles. Like, okay, I'm here by 15th minute. I'm like, okay, how can I get out of this field without too much embarrassment? So yeah, Chelsea needs to get there.
Let's switch gears.
I was saying ruthlessness has to be applied. But then that level of ruthlessness comes in two ways. I'm sorry to say, either a fluke, like what may have happened in Bundesliga with what's his name, Bayer Leverkusen. Good coach, good squad, but you just go on unbeaten.
Yep.
It rarely happens. You need some serious luck, and they never died. They kept coming back.
Yeah.
So that's I say by fluke. It's not like a bad team or the coach is bad. No, by fluke, having that kind of run is very rare. Or as Dio has said, maturity and control. Maturity and control. Today's game was a game like last season we will have lost.
Yeah.
The game against Bournemouth, Crystal Palace was an easy game we will have lost. Bournemouth game is a game we have lost. In the 5 games we've played in the Premier, I think we've played 5 Premiership games now. Or is this 6 or 5? 6. In the 6 we have played, bear with me, I think I only remember 2 or 3 games we absolutely dominated and played champagne football. The other 3 was literally, I snatched it, I jackpot, I'm good. Or,
I mean, last week against, was it Brighton, where you guys were just, they were just...
It was madness.
Chaotic.
It was chaotic, and it was thanks to Rico Suave. No fucking reason. He just comes out at the wrong time, and then he goes online and tweets, says, sometimes the defense helped me and I helped them. I was like, Olori Buruku, we don't have time for that kind of. I wake up in the morning not to be stressed out, and you will not be stressing me out any 80K a week. Guys, stop it. Like, I don't hear he helped me out, she helped me out. Nobody's helping anybody out. Then today, the guy was absolutely brilliant. So it's frustrating to be like, what are we doing?
That bozo thing. I want us to talk about Kompany at Bayern Munich, and then we'll talk about Manchester United. But before that, Cole Palmer, very brief opinion. Dio. They say he's the best player in the Premier League right now. What do you say?
I don't have much argument against that because I'm trying to think, like, who is better, like, the generation of KDB and Salah. They are reaching their twilight and coasting up. So this next set of players, Saka, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden,
Haaland,
those are the new generation. And this season, Foden has not found his footing at all. So Saka has been consistent, but he has been a consistent 7. He hasn't been hitting the 9s and the 10s.
True.
So Alan too, he has his 10 games and his 6 and 4 games. So, but Cole Palmer has been more consistent, like an 8, 9. So I will say there's a strong argument to say Cole Palmer is the best player in the EPL this season.
Okay.
I saw the stats, like even from January, like he has had more goals/assists than anybody else, including Haaland.
Wow.
So I would say he's the most informed player. The most informed. What I'm very, very careful with that is last season was an anomaly for a youth player just showing up in another team and running amok. Like, you know what I mean? Right. And this season he seems to be more. He's a man. He's growing into a man. Because when Maresca came in, they asked him, "How do you see Cole Palmer?" And we know Cole Palmer's role is a luxury role. Let's be very honest about it. He floats everywhere.
Yeah.
But even when the coach first came in, he played him on the right. He was nowhere to be found. He got benched. Then I can't remember, we played another game that was like, I don't know, a Carabao Cup, and he just took charge and just went. And I think the coach appreciated that, like, the kid I left that may have left us when we were in Man City as a young kid is not the same kid I'm coaching now, because Maresca was with him in Man City. Right? He's not the same kid I'm dealing with now as a man, and he understands what I need to put. So he just allows him be. Will Cole Palmer be able to express himself if he was to play for Pep Guardiola? I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think we're going to see this. So that's why I say inform. Let's see what he does by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Barring injury.
Okay. All right. Vincent Kompany at Bayern Munich. When he went to Bayern from Burnley, I was like, this man is smoking grade A crack. But I'm not a Bayern Munich fan. I know he's a good football coach. I know his style of football. Just because of the way he was not adaptable at Burnley, I didn't think he was going to cut it, honestly, at Bayern Munich. What's your experience so far? Are Are you looking at him with side eye, Dio?
Yeah, okay. Compared to where we're coming from, he has been a huge upgrade. We were coming from the Tuchel football, and that was terrible. As in, that's the worst thing you can ever, as a Bayern Munich fan.
You say
We,
Taliban football.
as in Tuchel,
Oh, to Taliban.
That
yeah,
is
like
mad.
we are Bayern Munich. We are stronger. We have a higher budget than all these other Bundesliga teams.
Yeah.
If you look at the salary scale for the Bundesliga, player per player, out of the top 10, probably Bayern will be top 8. We have 8 Bayern players there. So we have no reason to be playing like cowards, like Tuchel is used to. So that's the thing. Tuchel took the flavor of football from us. Like, we were not dominant. We were now cautious of what Offenheim would do to us, what
Mm,
Frankfurt would do to us. That's not
mm,
Bayern Munich. We go out there and we smash them. Though, when you meet equal peers, it might backfire. But the thing is, that is when we're in the league, we should not be holding back. These teams are small, so that is what Kompany has been able to do, and that is what he failed to. You know, sometimes some styles are his style is better implemented in a top side that has resources like a Barcelona, a Bayern Munich. You
mm.
cannot implement a star if you implement a star in a low budget side, you just become like Leeds United. You play great
Yeah,
football,
yeah, yeah,
attack, and you'll be losing every game 5-4, 5-3.
yeah.
One-on-one marking all over the place. He will still, I believe in Kompany. I like I don't want to say this, but I like seeing someone that looks like us on on the bench of a team that is that great. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. What all I can call it fail upward
Ola
is
say Philip. Ola, you
now.
want to you want to offend the likes of Dada that will say only certain races fail upwards.
Yeah, that
Yeah. And
if you
seeing our boy fail upwards.
Look, if Frank Lampard can fail up there, if Steven Gerrard,
Hey,
I'll take it. I'll
let
take it.
it let, let it
Fail
let
upward.
it yeah, like
I-
let him fail upward. Like what's the worst that
uh,
will happen? Okay, Tuchel, we've tried with Tuchel, we've tried with Kovac, we've tried with people that didn't even have any experience at all. Nagelsmann is
Exactly.
even younger than most of the players. Like
Mhm.
let's give Company a chance. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna be the Pep or whatever, but let him fail upward too. Let him fail, and we'll fire him. We always fire everybody. We fire the best coach. We fire the worst coach. What's the worst that will happen to Company? Let him enjoy it. Let me see some brothers on the bench too. Like like
Facts.
I would just say some certain baddies are supposed to be flown out to Ibiza, and some
yeah.
baddies should be remaining in Ikorodu. They should not be crossing. They should not be coming. They should not be going to Abuja or Port Harcourt. They should be staying,
It's
in
related.
Hmm.
it's just the reason I use that example is when Ancelotti dated down with Everton. It's like,
Yep.
what in the ghetto is this
Oh,
rubbish? And then Real Madrid was like, hey boo, it's like, man, this is
heavy head,
Yeah.
heavy head.
this is it's like you people are useless here. Who pay you more? I'm going to my real sugar daddy, and all of a sudden it's just
Let's take some comments. Before we go to the Manchester United section. Ebuka is just laughing. I think he was laughing at the Chaliban comment. That's crazy. That says company filled upwards. Yes. And then Ola goes, please go back to the Manchester United section of the podcast. I want to see something. Ola, we haven't even started the Man United section of the podcast. We've not started. We're just going to it now. Then he goes, of course, I'm happy for Kompany for that reason. I agree with you guys that our brothers need to fail upwards. Facts. Was just surprised Bayern went that route. Yeah. I mean,
I was surprised too. Yeah.
yeah,
Also.
yeah. And then Ebuka goes, if Kompany can improve the team defensively, then he might be up to something. Yeah.
Yes, and the thing is, it still plays this dreamy and unrealistic. I won't say unrealistic, but how Pep used to play too several years ago. Like everybody on the halfway line, you press them into submission. It works 90% of the time. But
Yeah.
later some teams will try to figure you out, throw some long balls, try to duke it out with you, and that's where it's gonna fail. And it will learn. You know, Pep, Klopp. They all fail too. Like at some point in time,
Yeah.
Klopp was starting with 5-4 goal lines, 5-3, 4-3, back and forth. I think Kompany will learn to, and it will get better. It might not be a Bayern, it might, but I think it's still a good thing on his resume. Let him have one Bundesliga too. As we are dashing everybody, let him get his own too, and
Yeah,
take it away. And
right.
I coach Bayern Munich, so I'm okay with him. And okay, the game against Aston Villa, that's one of
Yeah,
the things. That's one of the bloody nose we get in his coaching career. You can't be a world heavyweight champion without having some scars.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's one of the things, and hopefully, yeah, he will learn from that. Not every team will. You can, how Pep used to do now, dominate everybody. They will just be sucker
Mhm.
punching you,
Yeah.
like just see the goal against Aston Villa, route one from goalkeeper, and John Duran didn't even control it, just lobbed it over. Yeah,
That yeah, those goals you can't legislate for them, honestly.
yeah, yeah.
Those,
So you will learn. Like Pep tried to figure a way was okay. Technical fouling. When teams are making their transition, foul them away from the goalpost,
yeah.
foul them in the opponent, because he didn't know how to deal with that. Then
Mm.
he tried to like adjust it, playing more defenders, three central defenders and wing backs to talking to just minimize it. Like he learned on the way too. So I hope Company learns fast, because I want him to succeed.
Yeah, because Bayern Munich, I mean, when I don't get patience, I know that.
Yep, yep.
But I also wanted to ask about Michael Olise, because I thought he was going to be gradually integrated into the squad before the bench people like Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sané on for him. But it
Mhm.
looks like the guy literally just walked into the team. I mean, every highlight I've watched, Olise is starting.
Yes, and is probably is probably our best winger right now, because we had two disappointing players in Kingsley Coman and Leroy Sané. Kingsley Coman will run and will never look up, and it will dribble
That's
everyone
what,
and will
yeah.
never look
That's
up.
what, yeah.
Leroy Sané too never matured in his football. He has that speed, but he just makes the wrong decision every time. So
Mm.
Olise has done both of them to the bench, and one of them will have to go, if not the two of them. And Olise is doing all the right things, and is within the same age gap with Musiala.
True.
So they are forming a bond. Olise has an incredibly high football IQ. He knows
Yeah.
when to shoot and when.
Makes the right decisions. He
Yes, so yes, but Coman will just keep running, and he just keep running, because when he was growing up, when you were young, it was cute to just outrun everybody. But
yeah.
after a while, people catch up with you,
Yeah.
and it doesn't just work anymore.
And not
Sanity,
only will catch up with you, age will catch up with you too.
age will catch up with you. Everybody will just, oh, you're just a one trick pony. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
continue your run. We'll block your stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff. And Sanity, it didn't just mature. It didn't just grow beyond that. And at least say the new generation has come, and one of them has to leave, or if not both of them. So I think maybe Gnabry might even survive, and Gnabry will take one wing, Olise the other wing, Musiala stay central.
Yeah. Nah, that's yeah, that forward line is cooking. Not even gonna lie with Harry
Uh,
Kane.
and we don't know when Harry Kane will decide to show up in big games, or when we need him.
That one, I think that one, yeah, stuck with the Tottenham,
Yeah.
Yeah, that one will never go away. I'm just jealous that Bayern Munich got Olise for what? Was it 60 million?
Yes.
I
Yes. Yeah.
bet if he had gone to any other Premier League team, 100 at least.
Yeah. Yeah. And you need to. And one guy I told someone, Eze, is also he has outgrown Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he has.
He has outgrown Crystal Palace. So someone needs to
I
make a
think I
sponsor.
think Chelsea might get him. I think
No, Chelsea has too many players. Where do they want to
it
put it?
will. You think this
We might kill Eze. We have three kids that are coming. There's one Estavio kid from Brazil. She's Lord, man. That
Oh,
guy,
okay.
yeah, that kid is another like Vinicius Junior. Like
Mhm.
he's insane. What he's doing at his age in Palmeiras is not normal. Like
Yeah.
then we
And they
have
even have Nkunku, they don't have space for.
we don't. Nkunku is the best finisher. We haven't figured out who we start.
Yeah.
Was Jackson?
And Joao Felix, they don't even know where to play Joao Felix. So
Exactly. So if Eze comes,
please, you shouldn't go there.
he's a good player, but I don't think he's an Olise.
Mm.
Well, he isn't. He isn't. He's a technician on the ball. He's a chance creator, right? But just that he operates from the middle behind the striker. I think he's
There's a shitload of that in Chelsea. I'm sorry to say, and if he's developing, I don't think Chelsea is the place for him to come now.
yeah.
Like, except he believes in himself so much that he's going to bench everybody. Nah, then sure. But I think what Ole said, I think Bayern being able to pay him what he wanted, um, that was also probably the reason you guys got him for like 60M, because Chelsea was about to sign him too, and we were just not going to pay beyond, was it 50 or something like that for him. We just, and they did hit us with a lot. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 70 or 80 mil at some point, but yeah. Chelsea was just not going to be. And knowing Chelsea, knowing that like we already got like Neto, Felix, and what's his name, Sancho, probably in the pipeline. They probably just waited and said, "Nah, these guys are tested."
Yeah. Let's talk about Manchester United. I've delayed this topic for too long, and we have to cover Man United, and we have to cover one more topic about the UCL format. But before I talk about Man United, I just want to play this video, okay? Just to show you how things can change very quickly. Give me one moment, guys.
While you're doing moment, I just want to read what one of your coaches, some snippets from what your coach said after the game.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's a fourth clean sheet. You can see we are very good organization-wise and togetherness. That's just showing up to do your job. They are good characters and good spirit, and the team is determined and resilient. Those are the positives from today's game. You're mute.
Let me share my screen. Like, this guy's a crackhead. I swear. Let me share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen because I feel like a fraud. Can you guys see?
Yep.
Erik ten Hag, Erik ten Heisenberg, remember the name. I told you guys he was cooking. I don't know what he's cooking, but I know it is good. He tells me the food is not ready, but I can smell it from my sleep. This guy is in the chemistry lab mixing up chemicals. This guy is in the chemistry lab mixing up formulas. I don't know what he's doing, but I know it's good, bro. Listen, guys, we have not looked this good in almost a decade. We have not looked this good since Alex retired, and I am loving every moment of it. I love this. Manchester United fans across the globe, United fans in Manchester, in India, in Nigeria, in South Africa, in China, in the United States, guys, I have news for you. Begin to dream. I have news for you. Begin to hope, bro. This is a new era. This is a new dawn, and we have every right. We have every reason to be hopeful. United fans, remember when we were in the mud. Remember when we were down in the gutters. Remember when we were getting buried. Remember when we were 6 feet under.
But now you're in the volcano under, bro.
Came and rose us up. Listen, call us Lazarus FC, bro. Change our name to Lazarus FC. Why? Because we are rising up from the dead. Erik ten Hag, this guy is the Jesus of coaching.
Oh my God.
This guy is the Jesus of football. Man, he's out here turning water into wine, bro. You give him Marcus Rashford, he gives you a goal scorer. You give him Luke Shaw, he gives you a 2-in-1 center back and left back. You give him Tyrell Malacia, and he gives you a young left back going toe-to-toe with Riyad Mahrez with chest, bro. You give him Fred, and he gives you a number 8 who is going box to box with chest, bro. You give him Wan-Bissaka, and he gives you a right back that is worthy of playing at Manchester United with chest, bro. You give him Manchester United, and he gives you a football club.
Well, I guess that's what happens when somebody cooks crack, and the testers feel good on the first high. Right now, we are back now.
Let me tell you something, right?
Bro, I am so sorry, man.
Let me tell you something.
I'm genuinely sorry. I want to troll you, but I actually feel bad.
Let me tell you something. I thought my job was done when I won the war against the homosexuals. Remember those days?
No.
Remember the days of the homosexuals?
Yeah.
I fought that war for 2 years. I eventually won it. I won the war. Little did I know that
No, you won the battle.
Battle.
won the battle.
You didn't win the war.
I know. Little did I know that the Lannister army was coming for my ass, bro. Now there are Eric sexuals out there. Look, I'm not even gonna lie. There are Eric sexuals out there. When Oli got sacked, and I dare any United fan to come out and tell me they didn't want Ten Hag. All of us are frauds. All of us are frauds. We saw what this man was doing in Ajax, and what did we say? Come and do the same thing. First season went. Let's not lie, the football in that first season was dead. It was dead. But we let it go. Why? First season, Ronaldo was doing a madness. All the stupid players from the Oli era were still there. And he won the Mickey Mouse Trophy, Carabao Cup. Second season started. And I swear, I will find that link and send it to you guys. On August 19 of 2023, when I think it was Spurs that beat us, I put Ten Hag on fraud watch. It pained me to do it, but I put this man on fraud watch. Why? Because I can see frauds from a mile away. I'm a Nigerian boy. I know it's coming when I see one. What are you man talking about? Back then, people were telling me that I'm smoking crack. People were telling me that Mason Mount will come good. People were telling me that Mason Mount will amount to something. What has he amounted to? Nothing, bro. I swear to God, this is the most. I feel scammed. I'm a victim. I feel violated right now. We're 14th in the Premier League. 1-4. We're 14th in the Premier League. I remember when Patrick Vieira was 14th in the Premier League, right? After a run of bad form, what did Crystal Palace do? They sacked him unfairly. They did. They sacked him. This man has a -3 goal difference. We have won 3 games in the last 10. We have our worst start to a Premier League season ever. This guy is making me eat my words. This guy made me leave social media. Wallahi, this guy made me leave Instagram and Facebook. Because I was getting trolled every day. People follow me. They follow me inside WhatsApp. Wallahi. I was supposed to be competing with Arsenal and Man City. I'm supposed to be looking at Chelsea behind me. Because Chelsea were dead food last season, bro. I'm sending players to Chelsea and they're cooking. The egusi they cannot cook in my team, they're cooking it at Chelsea. God will punish this man.
You know what was making me laugh was I didn't even when Jadon Sancho was coming, I was like, man, at least he's better than Modric. My own barometer of disappointment is very different. You understand? I was doing the same thing Oga was doing. They are cooking and they will just cook you beans that you're gonna have diarrhea. Every manager was doing it. So me, I was just like, well, whatever, new babe, down the Attilo today. You don't go date this babe, you don't come back. That's a Chelsea. In your own case, honestly, I think that I don't know what you think about this. When Mourinho made that statement, and if you notice, we started this podcast saying we in Chelsea we are toxic. We know that we are toxic, so we will stay within the confines of the toxicity, whether it makes sense or not. United, you guys have not really recovered from the glory days of Sir Alex, right? Whatever your business model is supposed to be, whatever your coaching philosophy is supposed to be, you guys haven't really gotten it right. And I actually think Jim Ratcliffe will do some kind of like stability.
Wallahi, if he doesn't sack him tomorrow morning,
he can't. We don't know what we don't know what the situation.
He has to sack him tomorrow morning.
Okay, we are
going on international break. When is the best time to sack a manager? Now.
It'll be now. I understand. But what if they don't have backup plan yet? But hold on.
Anything is better than this. What are you talking about?
That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. We are talking about Kompany.
Okay. That has never cost anybody. I say Idris, that's bullshit.
What are we talking about, Idris? Idris, what are we talking about, bro? Every single player in that Manchester United squad, almost every single player in the squad, and every single player in the starting 11 is either an Eric Ten Hag buy, or that person was anointed by Eric Ten Hag from back to front.
What I had an issue with the guy was this. Every person that has come and said something about the institution of Manchester United is now right. Whether Ronaldo is an ego or not, he's right. The standard has plummeted. Sancho
Okay.
situation.
Let's even say
wild.
okay.
The Gea situation, wild. Fred, like there's a lot of situations that I know they needed to go, but you can't make those kills and be where you are right now. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say.
No, you can't.
You can't make those kills.
Dayo, go ahead. Dayo, go ahead.
Okay. The thing is, like, I feel sorry for Manchester United fans, even though, okay, like Oga said, I was one of those that actually thought Ten Hag was going to do a good thing at Man U, but he has been a very major disappointment. Like, if you look at Manchester United, why would Manchester United be on 14th point? I'm looking at live score table now.
You have 8 points, bro.
8 points, 14th position, 2 wins out of 7. One of the wins was one against Fulham.
Yes.
Last minute, Zukezu, and this guy, and against
Zazu.
Zazu or Zulezu, and the other one was against Southampton. I think they were probably 10 men Southampton.
And even Dayo, let me explain it to you even further. Even that Southampton game, we were on skates. Bro, they put us on smoke in the first 20 minutes. Onana saved the penalty.
Yeah,
the penalty, and then we went to
I can't remember. Maybe he even got a red card or something like that. Because so this is his third season. Have you seen any improvement? Like, okay, you need to give me something to hold on to. Like, and forget all those fake trophies. Like, oh, I won Carling Cup, I won both. I think I'm even thinking maybe Pep deliberately threw that last FA Cup just to set you up, and because I think everybody was decided on Ten Hag was going. Ten Hag was going before the FA Cup. After watching that, who did you play in the semi-final? Coventry. After Coventry, everybody, I watched ESPN FC and everybody was, okay, this is the end of Ten Hag. Some people, the debate was like, should he even coach the FA final or should he go today? And they were like, more people said he should go today. And okay, let's just whatever. And he won that FA Cup and they retained him. And that bullshit excuse that, who are we going to take? What kind of nonsense is that? Like,
I can
take anybody, go on the street of Manchester, just pick anybody, the first person you see, pick him, just come. Just Bayern is, we have Kompany. Chelsea has Maresca. Where did they find these guys from? Did they drop? So you mean Man, you cannot get Maresca?
You are telling me Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth will not come here and do better?
Yes. Anybody, go on the street of Manchester, the first person you see, just the person's shirt. Oh yeah, you'd be a coach.
Okay, but okay, we're blaming Ten Hag. Initially it was like they hadn't given him the right ingredients to cook his soup, whatever the rubbish was. At this juncture right now, right? If you were to nail Ten Hag aside results, what will it be that will be the reason?
Everything. Style of play.
Let me start.
Okay, style of play, transfer failed. All transfer failed. Style of play. Do you look at Manchester United and you say, okay, when I watch Chelsea, I see that okay, Chelsea attack is cooking, their defense is deficient. Okay, you've isolated the problem. Like, okay, let's get a big boy. Let's get a Van Dijk to give birth to somebody and grow him quickly and just plug him there. And we should be good. What is Manchester United's problem? Like, they look like they have 11 problematic players. They look like they need a total different 11 right now. Like,
what part of Manchester United
do you think works?
Which part is working? Which player? Let me ask you a question, Idris. Which player
are you happy with?
That signed?
Which player are you happy with?
In your eyes.
Which player are you happy with?
Which player are you happy with? You know what's even crazier? This is what blows my mind. The players that are castaways. Last season, it was McTominay that was saving this guy job at every turn.
McTominay's banging goal in Napoli. It's killing it.
That was meant to leave.
Yeah.
Now, Maguire kept him in the job on Thursday.
Yep.
They said, like, today, this guy started a center-back pairing of Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans is 37 or 38 years old.
Man.
How is that possible? How is it possible that that De Ligt already looks shit, bro? How is it possible that Ugarte already looks like garbage?
Yes.
How is it possible? Nah, big man team, bro. How is it possible that Joshua Zirkzee is looking like he's in a shampoo commercial? How is it possible that Rasmus Højlund cannot play football? This guy's touch is like a trampoline, bro. This guy cannot.
Even Bruno that used to be good. Look at how Bruno looks
Bruno
like.
Fernandes is on the mission to sack the manager. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Today today there was meant to be another red card for either Rashford or Bruno. I think
that would have been like his thought straight.
that would have been his third straight red card.
Even Lisandro just looks like a midget.
This guy's a crackhead. How does everybody look bad? How? Why am I here in 2024? Why am I still here? I thought we have regressed in every metric possible. We have regressed. 616 million pounds spent under this guy. 616 million pounds.
Honestly,
and this idiot is telling me, give up to the end of the season. Conda will fire you.
Maresca came from Division 2, second division, and he's doing this. So
God will punish Eric. I swear, this guys. I called him the Jesus of football. God should punish me for that. I swear. This guy's the Lucifer, bro. This guy's playing satanic football. He's Taliban. Eric Ten Laden, bro. That's his name. This guy's a terrorist. I can't believe this.
Oh my God.
Give it to anybody. I swear, give it to anybody. Find like that. I said, go to the streets of Manchester. All those boys that are selling fish and chips, bring them. One of them will coach this team better.
What is bizarre for me is I've always, well, if you followed my rant directly, I've always been I think most Chelsea fans have always had the issue with extremely ideological coaches. You know, that used to be my battle with Ayo. Mm-hmm. When Ayo be like, oh, you can never change the way you play. I say tactically you can. I'm not saying you're not going to string passes together and stuff. And one person that has vindicated me on that argument is the new guy, Maresca. Maresca was playing overwhelming passing pressure in Leicester City. And Leicester City people got bored of it. They were like, yo, man, it's kind of football. They don't think they will survive in the league if they got to the league. But in Chelsea, we are seeing that he's going to try, but he has no shame playing long balls on counter. Chelsea, we hadn't seen counter in a while. But with your coach in terms of, what's his name? Ten Hag. There's something with this kind of guys, the Bielsa purist kind of guys, that I can't, you just have to win. You have to win for me to be like, this is good, because it's almost like suicidal.
Bro,
do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Idris, I disagree with you on Ten Hag. Please don't smear all these coaches by comparing them to Ten Hag.
Not bad.
Look, you saw Bielsa, he relegated. You saw what he was playing. You saw that, okay, he's a purist. That's what is Ten Hag? Look at Manchester. Maybe you've not watched Manchester United. Please watch it. Play a clip of Manchester United and just see. He plays donut football. Like everybody will be.
Yeah, it's like side to side.
No, it's nobody's in the middle.
There's a hole in the midfield every time this guy plays football. 3-1-6. That's the formation. Every time, if you notice, every time the center back holds the ball, right? Passes it to DM. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Mino or Casemiro. And every player goes forward. They run away from the ball.
Exactly.
Including the fullbacks. They all run away from the ball. And then there's this giant hole. And because we're so shit at passing, we will lose the ball.
And the thing is, when
we lose the ball, they are running at Casemiro and the two defenders.
Because the thing is, okay, you put one central midfielder, you pass the ball to him, and they will crowd him out. That was like when you look at the game against Liverpool, they were dispossessing your central player, whether it's Kobe Mainu,
regardless of who it was,
or Casemiro, because you isolate them, and those guys just need to cut out the passing lane. And if I watch a Slot or Salah was saying, this is so easy. Like everybody knew, everybody before we came to the game, we already knew. Okay, that's just what we do against Ten Hag.
The idiot removed Casemiro in that Liverpool game. The idiot removed Casemiro. Obemanu that slotted into that position. The same thing.
The mistake,
bro. When everybody looks shit, when everybody is dying under your system, it is you, bro.
You need to take positive. So what's the positive from Ten Hag? Like, what do you? Okay, Bielsa. When Pep was screwed in his first season, at least they saw positive. Okay, he wants to play this way. Ten Hag doesn't. I'm not sure he even knows what he's trying to do. Listen. He's just like, okay, just get on the field and just play secular football, confuse the opponent. And
But who? What are the rumors in associated with United right now regarding potential? Because a lot of people are claiming that like
Van
there's
Nistelrooy.
rumors.
Van Nistelrooy. Van
Also,
Nistelrooy.
Vanessa just steps up. Just fire this guy.
yeah, yeah.
Van Nistelrooy will probably step up on an interim basis, and then we'll spend the
Because
rest.
Vanessa was solid too now in Dutch league. What?
I don't think Van Nistelrooy is ready to take charge of this team. I honestly don't. I don't want another former player. I will fight him the same way I fought.
But again, this is my
I
also
don't care if anybody's
this is
fighting.
my fear. This is my fear with you guys too, United, that you say you will fight him. Honestly, when Mourinho said this is the best finish I have with this set of players, like there's so much he had seen and said that all of us said Mourinho was washed, right? But his prophecy is coming to pass. Whatever his situation is, wherever he is right now. The same thing Ole came. Ole is a company man. Ole just stayed there, yes sir, yes sir. But
He was happy to be there. Yeah.
he kept that team up. He was papering over the cracks,
Yep.
and he was such. And that makes me realize how good a coach he was that we did not appreciate. You get, and he was just happy to be there, but he was doing the job. I just don't think he had the right ingredients, or he couldn't voice out to get the right ingredients that he wanted. Now you've gotten a guy that they are willing to go 10 toes with, and this is where you guys are. So I don't know, except you guys are going to go the Chelsea route, where you are able to squander 1 billion, then find a way to sell 800 million players, then spend another 800 million. You know what I mean? Which is very to be able.
Because look at people like Unai Emery. They came to, I think it either came around the same time with Ten Hag or even
Shortly? He came shortly before.
okay, shortly before. Okay. Yeah, because
Unai came shortly before
No.
Ten Hag. He was fired in Arsenal, and then he left. Then he came to
he
Arsenal.
went to actually Unai defeated Ole in Villarreal in the Europa final. I think
Finals.
so.
When they even got to finals, guys, you guys
Yeah.
are not realizing
Yeah.
how that crack was paper though.
So that's the thing with when you make when you okay. I agree with Oga Kwame that okay, you want to see your team win trophies, but sometimes you just know that okay, maybe some trophies are just toxic. You just don't win this trophy yet
Exactly.
because it's like it's like I don't want to say kids might be watching this, but a guy that beats you, but he has a good game elsewhere.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you get confused. So it's better to be shitty all through, so that you know that this guy has no redeeming factor. Just go. Like, I don't want to deal with you. Yeah, but why? What's the purpose of that FA Cup if you're going to be
Sorry,
fighting?
Ten Hag came before Emery. Emery came like 3 months after Ten Hag.
Look at it, and look at Aston Villa. Look at Aston Villa. Look at when you look at Ten Hag. Ten Hag has played Manchester United in the last 9 European games. They've won only one
They
against
won one.
Copenhagen, and that game against Copenhagen was because Copenhagen missed a penalty in the last minute.
Yeah.
So how can you play 10 European games against? It's not like you're playing Real Madrid every
It's
day.
not like playing against
every day.
Juventus or Bayern Munich.
Exactly, every day. So
Brother, I'm playing against Galatasaray.
2020, 20. Who did you play last time?
FC20.
Yeah.
20. This guy barely have 20 men on their squad.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I mean, like Ten Hag has lost me. I don't.
I'm
not. So what are the Eric Secures saying? What are the?
No. So a lot of them after Tottenham destroyed us. A lot of them saw the light. A lot of them saw the light. You see, that is like it's like all of us are in downfall. All of us are inside downfall, right? And the driver is driving like a madman. The guy is heading towards the cliff. But see, some of us, I actually think I have the gift of foresight. I'm sorry. And I have to give myself some credit. Me, I saw that this downfall was going towards the cliff since last year. I don't see him since I jacked out from the downfall. I come out. Now, these people that are just opening mouth now. Downfall don't enter cliff. The downfall has finished. That's Tafuka.
As you're looking at them from the last.
Now I'm looking at them like, why didn't you jump off the downfall when I jumped off? They're asking, why? The reason I jumped off so early is because I've been in the same downfall before. I don't see this thing before. Like we are usually when the tide turns against a manager to this degree, they usually don't last and they usually don't prove us wrong. It usually does not happen. Let me take comments, man. I've left these comments for 2
I know. I was just going to not confirm, but like just reiterate what Dio said. Unai Emery finished 7th in the 2022-2023 season, finished 4th in the 2023-2024 season. Right now, he's 5th and he's playing Champions League, which means he's carrying more burden and going.
Yep.
That is insane.
Yeah,
I don't think he's leaving Aston Villa anytime soon.
Yeah, Aston Villa fans can like take positives. They can like, okay, let's go and take a second mortgage on our stadium and hand it over to Unai Emery. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah. Let me take comments. And the haters are flooding the comments. I don't see them. I don't see them now. I don't see them. Ebuka says Eze can do what Enzo is supposed to be doing at Chelsea. Politics aside, Eze will break to the blue team easily. I tend to agree with them.
I don't want to destroy Enzo's career.
Enzo isn't playing.
Enzo is not an attacking mid though.
I don't know where Enzo is because in Argentina he is attacking to some extent. In Argentina, he arrives late he kind of arrives in the box early, not late in the box.
So who's usually behind him in Argentina? Rodrigo De Paul and who?
I'm trying to remember because I've seen.
You know, Argentina has all these Agberos like Rodrigo De Paul and you know all this.
So he allows.
He
does allow. I agree with Dio. He does allow Enzo do the things freely. In Chelsea, I really don't know where his right position is. I will settle for pivot and distribution and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just don't think we are utilizing him to the full.
And I don't think Chelsea is the team for him. He should go.
He might not be. I don't know, but he played well. Yeah, he was stinker last season, but the previous season under.
As long as he doesn't go to Arsenal, because I know he's going to cook at Arsenal.
But that's the thing. He might cook at Arsenal. That's the issue. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't know. He's played under 3 different managers now, 4 different managers. So we don't know. So that is a comment. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Street Fighter is laughing. Ebuka is laughing.
Lazarus FC. Your video.
Ola says, Man said my United fans ready to drink.
Plot twist. Plot twist.
I feel like a false prophet, man. 7 games played, 8 points. We are done, says Street Fighter.
Who is Street Fighter?
I don't know who Street Fighter is. Olago, Sancho cooking egusi at Chelsea, while United will be cooking draw soup. We don't stay. Toby shouting here, Kwame, fuck off, bro.
He was nice though. Toby was nice to you.
Yeah, nice.
It's like Toby
nice to see you. It's not nice to see you, Toby. I don't like you, bro. Get out of here. It's not yet the worst.
It's not yet the worst of
United fans
react emotionally though. I think you found one of your
Eric sections.
He come out of the closet right there. You found it.
Brother. Toby goes, I don't feel so really United fan. I'm loving their epic collapse. Long may it continue. Give Ten Hag a new contract, I beg.
More people are praying though. Most current.
Most current.
But who bought them? Who signed them?
However, you don't stay in a relationship because you do not have a new partner yet. Sadly, Eric Ten Lasso has to go. There are capable managers outside.
The guy see the grass is greener on the other side. Okay.
Let him go. Silence 8-4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-4-1-1 at different times while he managed. Eric is stubborn footballer.
Yeah, he's right. That's what I'm trying to say. He's very stubborn. I don't understand those kind of managers. I get it. You have your way, but if shit hits the fan, you gotta have a plan B or plan C. You just have to mix it up. Like, you don't watch MMA. Sometimes you see some guys, I'm a striker, one guy is a grappler. Yeah, and as Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan to get punched in the face.
Exactly, and they've been punching Eric Ten Hag in the face for the past 3 years. Like,
the guy's in a coma at this point.
His face has started to padded. Yeah,
how much more punching do you want to punch him?
No official word from United.
No official word from United.
Rob Dawson manager situation. Rob Dawson is your technical director.
No, I don't. I think Rob Dawson is a journalist.
Okay.
Yes, Toby. The only sorry I would associate with Man United is their sorry state. Sorry, I'm not sorry. F you guys, man. I hate y'all.
United is not a football. Yep. United fans will better accept it. Probably, man.
But
False
the truth is
start.
that like even the finance will suffer if their football continues this
That's
way.
the thing.
Yeah.
Guys say, "Oh, Buki, you
The first start with foresight, they won't kill you there. Not a
Oh,
fire. Right. Let's take the last topic before we adjourn. The new group stages format of the Champions League. How do you look? Me, I can't talk. My team is not there, so
I can't talk to me. I don't know what was
No,
going
no,
on.
you guys have to talk
I
now.
can't- Oh wait, is it so? Explain it to us, Dio. It's I just see a huge table,
exactly.
right?
The
All
game
right.
will be like
And I think they say that's
like
first group, first phase or something
the
like
first 8 they automatically qualify, right?
Yes, and they will now well, to be honest, I don't really understand it too.
that. Will everybody play
Uh,
everybody?
No. They okay, like we played Aston Villa in Villa Park. We are not gonna play them in Munich. So they drew every team will play 8 games. So you play 7 opponents. So I think you play 8 games, and when you play 8 games, they will it's randomly drawn games, not so I'll play Aston Villa, I'll play Barcelona, I'll play PSG. It might be home away randomly.
Yeah.
The first 8 people, everybody's in one group. The first 8 qualify automatically.
Oh, that's
I think-
messed up. Oh, if I not just meet all those Wi-Fi teams, I'll
Yes,
go rack up.
yes,
No,
yes.
that's not fair now.
Yeah,
That's
and
not fair.
it's not fair because
That's not fair.
someone will beat you. You can't even have your chance back. Like Aston Villa is not coming back to Munich. They don't carry the
They don't
1-0
carry
win away. Yeah,
But
so
if they continue, this is a Unai Emery, Mourinho-esque type of.
And this is a team that breaks into the like knockout stages
mhm,
and they just shit house their way to the final.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
oh yeah.
yeah.
This is
Because
Greece. This is
Lille,
Greece Euro 2000 all over
yeah,
again.
Lille beat Real Madrid, and they won't be going to Bernabeu.
They won't
So
go back to
okay,
the
we don't
Yeah.
finish. Oh, we don't beat you. Oh,
No, that's
Uh,
not. That I don't like this format. It's not. I make it. This is me also being probably not progressive enough to open my mind.
mhm.
So forgive me. But the traditional way isn't it a gentleman's agreement of we get a fair chance to beat each other in everybody's house. Is that
Yeah.
not, you understand?
Yeah.
You can also say it's fair because it's random. It's like it's not.
It's random. I'm happy. There was a lot of upset last week.
And
There was a
also,
lot of upsets last week.
I think the next 16 teams they get to play like a playoff or something.
Yes.
Like a playoff round.
Yes. And
Yeah.
they now. So at the end of the day, I think all the upsets we are seeing, at the end of the day, we'll still see the regular traditional team still qualify. Okay.
So
Top eight.
that's our chief correspondent. Top 8 qualify automatically. 9 to 24 then go into a playoff of 2-legged games to go into the top 16. Then the games are drawn to make sure there are equal levels of opposition. Okay.
So top 16, are they playing in a group stage in top 16?
No, the top 16 will now go to knockout.
Oh, okay.
They will now go to
Oh,
knockout.
bro, man, this is brutal.
Yeah.
So instead of having 6 groups games, you'll be having 8. So it will be going. You even be playing Champions League group stages till January.
Oh,
So
okay.
then I have another question. Then, do you think this makes it more fair? Because that just alluded to like the traditional guys. Gary go swell. We go know what they down with it. Not supposed to be up.
Mhm.
Do you really think that it's going to be the traditional guys, or some as Oga said, some team will just shit it their way up to the group stage and that's it? It's like
Well, I still think it's left to be seen, but I still think the traditional teams will still find their way. Like, they're way stronger than others. Like, one Aston Villa can throw you a punch, an Ashim Rahman punch one day, and, second leg, you Lennox Lewis him, you will coco him well. Like, everybody will still end up. I think these top guys will still qualify. And,
I think the new form. I don't think the new format means that we'll have these smaller teams just start qualifying for UEFA Champions League finals or winning. I don't think. I think the traditional big boys, you'll still see them in like the last 8, the last 4. You'll still see.
Yeah,
them.
by last 16 they'll take care of all the because last 16 will now come to home and away, right? Okay. Yeah. Aston Villa can't do them again. Leo can't do them again.
So that brings the next question that I have for you guys. Do you think the quality of football in this initial group stage will just be shite? Because you got to understand that, like, hey,
yes,
I don't want Lille to.
It will be. We'll have more upsets because Leo will beat Real Madrid, Aston Villa will beat Bayern Munich, and all those things, and we'll get the smaller team excited about the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I think the big teams will still.
Yeah. Ola goes, the previous format had already gone stale. We needed a change, and I believe this would ensure that very few dead rubbers in the final. There are very few dead rubbers in the final round of fixtures. I just like that as a I don't even know how long I'm there, but as a Europa League citizen, I'm just glad that the Champions League, the people that are relegated from Champions League, they don't drop any longer. So Sevilla like this, they are not. If
They're not coming to Europa,
if
so
they're not coming to Europa. Not saying I'm going to win it because I still have this crackhead in charge.
I don't know.
Actually,
I think
that pisses me off. Some crackheads. What did they tell you? What did they tell you? As a crack dealer, you never smoke your own product. This
Okay.
guy is smoking his own shit, bro.
and it's good. He's marketing his shit. He's telling you guys this shit is good.
Top teams are guaranteed in the top 8 shot. On goal difference matters a lot now. There would be a lot more upsets, like you right.
That's true. I think I like he's answering my question about like, do you think the quality of football would drop?
Yeah.
I think the quality of football would drop because it'd be more cagey and people are just trying to rack up points. Another thing I was kind of like a little worried about, I think maybe it's a question also to ask regarding it said that like the last format was stale. Could it also be with the way they gave certain leagues, which I understand are big markets, more UEFA coefficients to qualify than all these other leagues? So it kind of took away from you kept seeing the same people over and over again. For example, the Premier League can have five teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And I think that's why they went to this format. That way you see some unfamiliar faces.
Okay.
Experience a few upsets. And it just makes for it makes for better entertainment. And at the end of the day,
but I would just love the same format. Same format, just drop it back to 4-4. Everybody 4-4. Like there was nothing wrong with that. Just drop everybody 4-4. Have initial like knockout stages for those small teams so that they can actually get into the
create more groups.
Yeah, but the thing I like Ola said too, they needed to juggle things. They needed to we were getting too comfortable until it was becoming still like you said. Because like before the old Champions League format, I remember early in the 2000s we used to have 2 group stages, like first group stage, then another second group stage.
We used to.
Now,
I remember that.
Yeah, now they did 1 group stage and knockout. Now I think with the challenge ESL, what's that ESL thing? Super League.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had to like come up with something.
They had to come up with something because Super League wasn't going away unless Champions League got reformed. So this was also like some kind of like political.
So more games, more money. Because more games, more money.
If I make a non-factual argument, which would be like, I think Super League is still going to happen because I don't think the concept of Super League was specifically for European consumers. Super League was for the world consumers. I think the big boys and girls that have got billions want to see, for example, Boca Juniors, River Plate going toe-to-toe with Real Madrid. I think there's a market for that. I think people wanted to see that. People wanted to see what Bayern Munich would look like against, I don't know, maybe a Saudi team like that what Ronaldo is doing at Nasser. I think people really wanted to see something crazy like that. And maybe some guys just wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to go buy the African teams right now. And Raja Casablanca is going to go against
but the Super League idea that was shut down was because, a group of teams handpicked themselves and be like, okay, we are the super team.
And there's no relegation.
No relegation. We are just like the elite. So we play ourselves and fashi everybody else. Yeah. So Real Madrid might be playing Man City, Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, and they even brought in Spurs. That and Arsenal, like it
was money. No, it was money.
They tainted that thing by bringing Spurs and Arsenal. Like,
I know.
It was money, bro. It was money.
What Spurs and Arsenal doing in Super League? But
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. That I think the initial drive of the Super League just had everything to do with I have money, I can play, we can play ourselves whenever we want, and everybody can go. You know what I mean? Right. I still think it's coming. I'm not surprised. I still think it's coming, to be honest with you guys. Like anybody that can decide to fly 30 players, sign 30 top players in the world and start flying them around the continent, I think they'll do it.
All right, well, let me take this last comment, then we'll wrap up the show. The top clubs wanted more matches and more money because of the Super League threat. UEFA agreed. I think European Super League is dead for now. Idris, the one you're talking about, is being handled by FIFA already.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us in the chat. I feel like I'm in the mud, bro. But it is what it is. Going forward, I will never make any predictions about any manager or any player. And I apologize to every fan, especially Arsenal fan, that I've talked a lot of shit to, since Ten Hag came. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
I'm gonna make a meme of you. Atilo Atide. You don't go, we don't come. When somebody has a new boo, oh my god, he's different. Like,
you go come.
You go
Anyway, Dayo, appreciate you for joining us, man. Always
All right.
on the show.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Next the next time we invite you, I'll make sure there's something we can cook Arsenal with. Just I miss you cooking Arsenal. Just putting that out there.
After Arsenal loses.
Idris.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us, bro. Thanks for joining the original Agbero of London.
Actually, we are still
Agbero of West London.
The only thing that can give me confidence in Chelsea is, as bad as it's bad, if we fuck up, we can sell even the furniture, make money, buy new furniture. That's the only.
You sell the furniture to yourself.
You sell it to ourselves.
Thank you everyone for joining us in the comments. I'll allow with the last comment says, Kwame, I collect your bravery, great show.
No, honestly, salute you, Hag'S, man. It's not easy, man. But and your YouTube video, good job.
All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. And before we go, make sure you check us out on YouTube. We are at Footy Fantasy. On Twitter /X, we are at Footy80 Fantasy. And on IG, we are at Fantasy Footy. And until next time, peace out, guys. See y'all.